Go.
We're on week 17. We didn't do anything last week. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about Yellowjackets, alcohol wash, keeping your brood down and your honey up, and leaving a super on just for room, and if they aren't bringing in enough nectar at this time, you can go ahead and scratch some of the frames in your super and they will draw that down into the top box. Because right now is the start of winter preparation. You want to make sure that they're going to have enough food. You may have to start feeding a 2-to-1 syrup if they don't have a lot of reserves up in the top box, because you want this top box as full as it can be before winter comes.
And by top box, we mean top deep.
Top deep,
not
correct.
the super.
Not the super. The bees are going to, at this point in time, this is the forming pads that we put on, and we're going to take these off now. We're going to do another alcohol wash here. They've propolized these in, which is normal, and they're completely dried out, so they're not good anymore. So and it looks like they're off to a real good start at keeping this full. And this time of year they get a little more cranky. They're trying to protect their reserves for winter. So we're going to gently go in here and see if we can do this without getting stung. What we're going to look for here is that all the brood is downstairs in the bottom deep. Look at all that pollen. They're bringing in a lot of pollen. That's real good. This is for their winter bees. And when we find a suitable frame to do our alcohol wash, we're just going to go ahead and do that. Boy, this thing is really
Wobbly today, isn't it?
I think it had slipped off the back.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
Unless you got eggs and larvae in there.
There's larvae in here. Real sporadic. And here's a little brood on this side. She's come back in a few places and laid. So that's good.
There you go.
Okay, this is looking better here. She's got a real good brood pattern going. And she's come in and there's a whole lot of open larva cells. So we're going to take this one and we're going to shake it for our alcohol wash. Make sure you have everything ready before you do this. Then you're not fumbling around. You don't have to be in a hurry because the bees that are on here are mainly nurse bees. And once you shake them, they're not going to fly away real fast. So just make sure you have your mite check ready. It's already got alcohol in it. And just one quick snap like that.
Oh, get your queen here.
Seriously?
Yeah. See her right
There she is. Good eye. Always double check.
She's under the
She's right there. So we're going to put her back. This is a real good example of what can happen if you're not careful and watch. We didn't see her on the frame, but once you put her in there, we're just going to take her and put her back in.
Come here, girl.
There you go.
There you go.
There she goes. Okay. Now we still have enough bees in here to do the wash. Top on. That's good that she's in the bottom.
Some more alcohol.
No, we're just going to leave this like this for now.
Okay.
So we're just going to go and dispatch these bees right now. And we'll come back to this later. And we'll continue on with our
Good catch, John.
He was still
always
painted, so
always
it's
double always double check, because you might miss her like we did on the frame, and always double check. And a lot of times what I will do as well is, after I do the alcohol wash, I'll spread them out even though they're dead, and just to make sure that I didn't kill a queen.
It's a good brood frame too. Oh, look at the pollen.
Well, she's just doing a great job. Now we know that she's right in here someplace. She could be clear over here or clear over here by now. It move very fast when they want to.
Good brood frame again.
Be real gentle if you have an idea where she might be, just so you don't injure her. Here's another real good frame of brood.
There she is right there.
Okay, there we go.
You zoom in on her.
Got her?
Yeah, we got her.
Okay. We'll just let her do her thing. We've got all kinds of brood down here, and that's where we want it. We want them to concentrate on putting brood down here and honey in the top box for winter. So we know where she is. We're gonna go ahead and see.
Look at this last one.
No, it's fine. That's gonna be honey mainly. We know where she is. What we're gonna do now is go up here and look and see if there's any brood up here that we want to move downstairs. This felt real heavy, so hopefully the majority of it is honey, and they're doing exactly what they need to do. Can you set that over there, please? Thank you.
Got some brood on this side.
Here's brood on this side too.
Lots of brood.
Okay, we got 2 frames of brood here. It's all honey, nectar. They're converting into honey. This is all honey. Honey again. Nectar and honey, and I can see the next one is all honey as well. So
I say we leave those two. They're gonna hatch out and they're gonna backfill it with honey.
Well, you've got one that was empty here,
Do we?
down here.
yeah, we've got
And
a
then how
couple
about
just like we thought.
Yeah, everything else was brood.
Yeah, so we're good.
So it's just these two that had brood. So you move one.
We're gonna take one that had the most brood on it.
It was the second one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second and first were the ones that had the brood. Yeah, that one's
There we
loaded.
go. Set this in here gently. And then close up your frames. We're going to put our honey frames back up here. Go ahead and put this back now. We've got the majority of the honey upstairs and the majority of the brood downstairs. Just like that. Another thing you have to be concerned about this year is Yellowjackets. If you have a weak hive, they're going to find it and they're going to attack it. What they're after in the beginning is they'll go in and kill the queen, and then what they're after is the protein, which is the larva. They'll take out all the larvae, and then they'll concentrate on the honey. The way you combat that is you can use an entrance reducer. When it's real hot, you try not to put a solid reducer on, so you use screen, and you can just go ahead.
Show them the screen.
Here's the screen, just like this, and all they really need is 2 inches. I don't need to cut this because it's already set up for an 8-frame hive, but you can cut 2 inches off, and that will increase the amount of guard bees that can protect that entrance. And you can leave that on until the thread is over and then open it up. But at this point, if you put it on, you probably leave it on the rest of the year. I'm hearing a lot more people having issues with bald-faced hornets, and they're even worse than the Yellowjackets. They'll take out a hive in a few days. The biggest thing that you can do to keep them from this happening is to have strong hives. At this point in the year, you don't want to have a weak hive. You don't want to try to build up a weak hive, because chances are it's not going to be built up enough by winter to survive. So if you do have a weak hive and you've got a mediocre hive, it's best to go ahead and sell that queen, give her to a friend, do something with her. Worst case scenario, you dispatch her and then combine those hives. That way you've got a strong hive going into the winter, and that's what you want. This time of year, you're looking to, like I said before, you're looking to have strong hives and a low mite count. So let's go ahead and set this back up.
And if the Yellowjackets are strong in your area, traps are key right now too. And using concentrated apple juice is what Ted has been showing on the Facebook page, and he is just raking in the Yellowjackets into the traps.
They may transition to protein, so you can Steve Abbott has a great way of catching them, and he puts gets a 5-gallon bucket, puts about this much water with a couple drops of Dawn soap into it, and then hangs a piece of chicken or meat or something like that about this high off the water. The Yellowjackets come in, they get too full, they can't fly, and they fall into the water. And he's caught bucket load after bucket load of Yellowjackets that way. But it all depends on what they're after. If you put it out now, you're probably not going to get very good results, because they're after sweet stuff right now, not protein. 300 or so bees. If you look in here, you can see this line right here. That indicates there's 300 bees in there roughly. And now we're going to fill this 3/4 of the way full with alcohol. You can also use dish soap. Dawn works the best, and Dean has the recipe for that. If you've got any questions about using that, he's been doing that for 3 or 4 years. What we're trying to do right now is just dislodge the mites from the bees. So you do this for about a minute or so. What was our mite count on this hive last time? Did we write it
6.
down? Was it 6?
Yeah.
I think it was 6.
Yeah, 6 rings a bell with me as well.
And we've had Formic on.
6 mites.
We've had Formic on for the last 2 weeks, so hopefully we knock some of that down.
Right now, you're going to want to do a mite check every 3 weeks to a month, because at this point in time, that's when that's when they're going to start to expand. I see 4 or 5 mites.
Do you really?
So yeah. Don't do this over the hive. You want to do it away from the hive.
Sorry. I thought you weren't going to use the funnel.
Now, if you pour this real slow, the mites are heavy and they will stay in there.
More than that. Hold it down.
Okay, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mites.
Still at 6.
Still at 6. I don't know what the temperature is today or what it's going to be the next few days, but at this point in the 90s, it's too hot to put Formic on. As soon as it drops below 85 for 3 or 4 days, we're going to go ahead and put Formic back on this hive. Today's what, the 10th?
No, I don't think so.
It's the 9th.
9th. Okay. We're queen right. We didn't weigh this hive yet, did we?
We didn't weigh it, no.
Okay. And we had
5 frames of brood. Yeah.
Well, first of all, we had 16 frames of bees,
Yeah.
and then 5
Plus.
frames of brood,
Yeah.
and we had 6 mites.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts?
The other thing you want to do is if you've got more than one super on and they're full of honey, you want to go ahead and take them off now. If you leave them on now, there's the chance that it's going to start to crystallize, and you're going to end up with less honey than what you normally would. I would definitely leave 1 super on just for room for them, because there's still a lot of bees in there, and they can go ahead and use this honey. If the dearth gets worse than what it already is, they will start to draw that honey down into the top box. And like we said earlier, you can take your scratcher and just scratch the honey. It's easier for them to then go ahead and move it. And that's about it.
Right on.
That's something else.
See you again next week.